What's up, guys? Welcome back to the weekly scraps. We got UFC
19.
19.
Wow.
Bro, there's a lot of fights.
That's
Give me
fair.
a
He
break.
says I'm a casual.
It would be a lot easier to remember if it was UFC Khamzat versus Duplessis or Duplessis versus Khamzat. Like, that would make a lot more sense. Easier to keep track of. But these numbers, UFC Vegas 109, UFC Fight Night, ESPN. I'm like, brother, UFC ABC 10. I can't keep track of this shit.
That's fair. Who cares? It's UFC Duplessis versus Khamzat. Who's winning that fight, Aljo? Go.
We're going
Damn,
right to it.
Steve, bro. That's supposed to be my job to ask, Ben, and you're just cutting me out of the equation now.
All right, what are we doing?
I'm literally here for one thing, and it's whatever.
Listen,
Aljo, who do you think's gonna win?
all right, let's break it down first. Duplessis is an enigma. Super strong, really good grappler for the weight class. There's not a lot of big grapplers or big guys that know how to grapple, right? Awkward striking, not the cleanest, but very effective for his style. He makes the Homer Simpson work. And then his BJJ is really, really good as well. I mean, I don't think his wrestling is like Khamzat level, but I think it's a really good, effective style. Body locks, getting to those positions, and just big dogging people. And then you got Khamzat Chimaev. Starts fast, not the most technical striker, but he's tough, he's durable. We've seen that. Duplessis also tough and durable. But then Khamzat's got the wrestling pedigree, a little bit of jiu-jitsu. I've never seen him on his back, and that's going to be interesting to see if DDP could take him down and put him there. What does that look like, especially over a 5-round fight? I can't foresee him going out there and blitzkrieging through him in the first round. Like, that would be chaos. And if he does that, good on him, but I just don't see it. DDP is a strong dude. With that said, I want Khamzat to win.
Wow.
For outside reasons, political stuff that, let me maybe I probably shouldn't say that. Next thing you know, I go over there and I'm getting kidnapped.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but it would be nice to see him get the belt, so he continue and whatever. But I just can't bet against DDP again. I've done it multiple times, and the guy just keeps making me look like a fool. His style works, and I don't think Khamzat's ever fought a guy who has such a crazy style. So for me, I think the safe bet is going with the champion, but I want to be clear. I want Khamzat to win, and I would love to be completely wrong on that.
Wow.
I gotta know why you want Hamzat to win.
Why?
No, I'm just really curious. Like
I'm pretty sure that man's going to, like, that part of the country. He's got to be there safely, all right? So we got to let that man
have
make
you ever seen the situation with him in his corners?
Oh yeah. All right, fat. Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Understood.
And if the people want to go and do some research on that and see all the backstory and then connect the dots, that's on you. You know?
Yes, very much understood.
He comes
Steve.
from Chechnya.
I hope this doesn't become a headline.
But what's the headline? Aljamain says something about Khamzat's corner.
Aljamain's throwing
are
says
you going-
dig deeper into Khamzat Chimaev's corner.
Are you going
Aljo
to
calls
Chechnya?
Khamzat a fraud. Sorry.
No, but it's very close to Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Very close overseas
Okay.
where I'm going right now.
All right. That's fair.
Understood.
All right. Come on. Let's go. All right. Who's winning that fight?
MoveOn.org. So, yeah, who? What's
Oh, for me.
you think DDP is gonna win? Aljo, that's your take.
I don't know if I could see Khamzat just picking him up and throwing him down on the ground.
But what
He'll
if
probably
he
get in on a
does?
good
What
entry.
if he does? If he runs through, if he steamrolls this man in one round, what can you say?
Oh, I say he's the greatest.
He's the greatest. This man just
Wait,
immediately
hold on.
folded under no pressure.
If
You're
he goes
saying-
out there and picks him up like he did the Leech and starts talking to Dana, slams him down, proceeds to break his face like he did with Robert Whitaker and multiple other guys, how can you deny this guy's greatness and his skill? Even if you say he's a 1-round fighter, 2-round fighter, whatever, he wins. He finishes guys. That's just how good he is.
You would say he's the greatest?
Not the greatest of all time, but I would say his run to the title is probably arguably one of the best. And, of course, he had the COVID issues, a lot of stuff that kept him out of fights, some visa stuff as well. So you got to talk about that. But I think overall, I mean, who else is there for people to kind of say has had a better run? I mean, Ilya Taporia has definitely had a very impressive one, but I think he's up there in the conversation, like
Yeah,
for
but the
his run and entry into the UFC, running to a title. I think it'll be pretty dominant. Like what he's just. There's a difference between knocking somebody out, in my opinion, and going out there and manhandling them and letting them know there's nothing you can do. You are here now and you are mine. Like there's something devious about that, and he enjoys it.
Yeah, and I would say just like you're saying too, like the hype and the mystique that Khamzat had, like just coming up, it's like Mike Tyson. It's just horror. Like it's very not very many people kind of get that level of hype and like just I would say overall like terrifying this. Like people are like terrified to fight this. It's a scary fight for anybody, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the Duplessis fight so exciting. I think he's excited to fight him. I have no idea how this goes. I kind of, I almost want to say the other way. I think Khamzat would be the smarter bet, but I want to say Duplessis just because, again, I think Khamzat's like on paper technically cleaner in most aspects. I mean, especially the grappling. And I think that's what I'm saying, like, could he be able to sustain that for like, could he win 3 rounds out of 5? Like, again, I saw a lot of people saying it'd be more impressive if Khamzat wins a decision than he would be steamrolling him in 1 round. Like, I mean, it'd be impressive, but you could see him steamrolling him in 1 round. He could do that potentially to anybody, but
Yeah.
if Khamzat could win a decision over 5 rounds and put on a masterclass over this guy, I think that would be even more impressive.
Yeah, I think if Hamza wins, it's early in round 1, maybe round 2. But I think if DDP wins, it's going the distance, or he gets a late finish with Hamza getting a bit tired. He's training at the garage with Sam Calvita. A very familiar face.
Interesting.
The mastermind behind TJ Dillashaw and a lot of other great athletes. So with that said, I would imagine he's going to be in a lot better shape, but it's going to be an interesting one for sure. And again, I think he could get to the legs. It's just how much energy is he willing to expend? Is he going to do the same thing that he did to Kamaru and Kevin Holland? I can understand the Kevin Holland one because he actually got the finish. But then he tried it with Usman on short notice. And that for me, leaves the door on the question mark in terms of his conditioning because he, I believe, had a full camp for the guy he was supposed to fight, and then Usman stepped in. So then you have that situation, and you're like, okay, I'm looking at it. He had a full camp, but he tied in the 3rd. What's he look like in a 5-round fight against a guy who we used to think would get tired all the time in DDP, and now is not getting tired? I guess he got something fixed in his nose or whatever, and his gas tank has never looked better. It's a tough, very tough, but interesting fight. Very compelling.
Yeah, and I will say I think Duplessis does get tired still in his fights, but I think he just dogs through it. Like I think regardless, like his style is meant for that. Like doesn't matter how tired he is, he's just gonna blitz forward and do damage. But that's what I think makes it so interesting in this fight. Like I don't know how, I really have no idea how this fight goes, but I could definitely see Duplessis taking it late. I would just, again, it would be interesting. It's a great fight. No, like honestly, like I think Khamzat's gonna fight the same way he always fights. I think he's gonna go after this motherfucker like it's a 1-round fight and just, you said how much energy is willing to expend on a takedown. It looks like he's willing to expend all of it. Like it looks like he's willing to just go for it and let the cards fall as they may, which as a fan, I love that style. Let's see where it goes. And again, like if he can maintain that for 3 rounds out of the 5, he could get the dub. But no, I saw Khabib mentioned like it would probably be a smarter decision for him to strike with Duplessis. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but definitely I think what Khabib's trying to say is like trying to wrestle with this guy for 25 minutes straight. That's a risky gameplay, which again I don't expect him to do anyways.
I agree with Khabib. I think when you know your style, you understand thyself. You know what I mean? Win 1,000 battles, Sun Tzu. But knowing that you get tired if you can't get the finish and you slow down significantly, or at least very visibly for at least us fans and for me as a fighter watching and seeing that, like I could tell the lactic threshold is building up and he's slowing down. So with that said, it's just like, well, what do you do? I think his path of least resistance would be to strike with him because it's not like DDP is the greatest, cleanest striker, but he did really, really well against a guy who's a really clean striker in Israel Adesanya. And for me, seeing that, that's enough for me to go, well, if he can get through a guy that's that technical, I think we have something here where no one can really say anything because he's winning
100%.
at the end of the day.
And like you were saying before too, I think I've picked against Duplessis in literally every single fight he's had. And again, he's proved me wrong literally every single time. So I feel stupid picking against him again, but I I don't know. I think I might give the edge to Khamzat.
I'm going on Khamzat, man.
Wow, this
Really?
man just switched up. He switched up
All
on
right,
me
hold on. Wait,
immediately.
hold on.
Kill everybody, brother.
That
Kill
could,
everybody.
yeah. Honestly though, I'm watching the countdown. The Duplessis, like what he says, bro. That shit gets me fucking hyped. Like that guy, the way he speaks, like he means business. Like
Him or his coach? Because I know his
both
coach
of
was
them.
saying, like, talking some big game.
No, his
in
coach
the-
was saying some wild shit. But look, honestly, I think they say it, and I'm like, this was like they're saying it with their chest. They mean it. You know, like when he says that shit, he's like, I'm gonna fucking show everyone I'm the boogeyman. I'm like, oh, that man means that shit. I am really hyped for this fight. When you got two guys that really are like speaking the truth, I think that's the best kind of
Speaking the
fight.
truth.
In their minds, they're speaking the truth.
But hold on. So you're both saying Khamzat. I'm gonna do a little MMA math real quick. Khamzat struggled against.
MMA math.
Well,
math doesn't work.
It's not really like I don't know if this qualifies as MMA math, but I'm looking at some of the fights he had at 170 where
Yeah, Gilbert Burns, competitive.
Gilbert Burns, extremely competitive.
Kamaru
Clocked his
Usman,
shit a
technically
couple
185.
times.
Yeah.
And Khamzat couldn't get him out of there. Kamaru came up to 185 short notice.
Yep.
Khamzat couldn't get him out of there. Kamaru, he put up a very competitive fight.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it like, okay, if he couldn't get those guys out of there, how's he getting DDP out of there? Who's
No, that's
beaten some of the
that's a
best
fair argument.
middleweights of all time or of this generation?
No, that's a
And
fair
I know
argument.
Khamzat did too, but I'm just like, how are we? Like, I know he steamrolled through Kevin Holland, but this is a different beast. You know what I mean? No
Yeah.
offense to Kevin Holland. So I just wanted to put that out there and see what you guys had to say about that. Like, how are you getting to the Khamzat prediction based on that?
He's
that
just
to
a
me-
boss, bro.
Okay.
He's just a boss, dog.
No, he is.
Khamzat's
First of
just
all,
a freaking
he's
boss.
a badass. Like you got to give him respect. The guy's a fucking dangerous motherfucker. But honestly, like Aljo was saying, like MMA math, I get it. Like Gilbert Burns is 170 guy, used to fight at 55. Duplessis is a big motherfucker. He's definitely gonna have the natural size over Khamzat. But Khamzat is just an enigma. Like he is really. That's what I'm saying. Like the come up is very. There's a lot of mystique behind it, and it just makes things very interesting.
But
with
dude,
him,
where does that mystique come from? Because like
just
if
think,
you look
again,
at
like,
it
he came out-
factually, it was Li Jingliang, cool, okay. Where's he now? No offense.
Robert Whitaker.
Robert
Yes.
Whitaker.
Robert Whitaker's the one where I'm like, okay, that's really fucking crazy. But other
look,
than that,
Regardless, even a win over Kamaru Usman, I don't care if it's short notice. A win over Kamaru Usman's to me, Kamaru Usman's an all-time great. To have a win over him is still impressive. I don't care. I mean, I get it. It's short notice. It's still
and he's a 170 guy. Like that is not a middleweight.
yeah, it's fair. I mean, again, I'm not disagreeing with you on any of it. I just think
Can it
again,
not be Usman is just that damn good also?
Usman is that damn good.
No,
that
he
part,
is,
no
but-
question.
It's DDP's that good. Like
No,
and
no,
he's big as
I'm
fuck.
Jake, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also
Yeah.
saying in that same breath, because that's the question. The question for everybody is, well, you went tit for tat with Kamaru Usman on short notice, but it's also Usman's also one of the greatest of all time in the welterweight division and just in the sport in general. So there's got to be some type of compromise when I'm looking at that, right?
Definitely, but also short notice.
Yeah, and look, regardless.
Post prime.
Yeah. Regardless, I will say Khamzat did take him down in that first round, take his back. That was arguably a 10-8 round. He dominated that first round. He can do that potentially again, like for one round, that might be the scariest motherfucker in the sport. He, I think, could potentially do that with anybody. Gilbert Burns, world champion jiu-jitsu. Again, styles make fights. Gilbert Burns, again, phenomenal fighter in his own right, but it just is what it is. I think I think Khamzat's just cleaner, and I think he's just a little crazier. I really think it comes down to that. I mean,
man.
it could be something as simple as that. Look, like Aljo said, DDP might be the smart money because he's more proven. Like, he's definitely been through the 5-round fights. But again, styles make fights. This is, to me, one of the most interesting style matchups you could make.
Look,
I don't know,
DDP's putting
that
on
just
for the
made me
white
wanna
boys,
switch
bro.
again to DDP.
Yeah,
Oh, come on. Yeah, honestly, I might go back to DDP too.
I'm
By
saying.
Friday before the fight, I'm saying I'm gonna be. Look,
Can
I
I
came
just
into
say-
this
can
taking
I get some
DDP. I
credit?
don't even know.
Can I get some credit for making a good point once in a while?
No, it's
I
fair.
think I just made a good point.
I think that's a fair point.
Not to make it about me, but you know,
Nah, that's what he does.
I just switched both of you guys back over. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. Pico, you guys want to talk about the Pico Laron Murphy. That's a big
All
fight
right.
to you guys.
We
That's a
got
great
Aaron
fight.
Pico making his debut in the UFC. Will this look anything like
The other Bellator guys.
Patricio Pitbull coming over, or will it look like Michael Chandler when he came over? Very, very interesting. Obviously, all these guys had different accolades in their career. Michael Chandler was a former Bellator champ, went tooth and nail multiple times with the King of Violence in Eddie Alvarez, the Underground King. So you got that. And then you got Pitbull, 2 division champion, try to get a third, right? We're going down to 135.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. He actually lost to Anthony Sergio
Sergio.
Pettis in a really entertaining fight. Older in age. Now you got Pico. Came in as a phenom. Everybody knowing who he is. High hopes, high act. Like everybody highly touted this guy as the next big thing coming into the sport for obvious reasons. Really good wrestling, super technical, prospect when
hands.
coming into the grappling department or the wrestling department, I should say. He was a prospect. A lot of people understood what Pico, who he is, and what he does well. Now, with that said, he's also have losses in that promotion. And I'm not saying those guys he's lost to are trash. There's some
But-
pretty solid fighters in Bellator, just like the PFL and some of these other promotions, Ryzen, 1FC. But because of that, it makes me wonder, is he as good as people are saying he is? And we get an opportunity to find out against a guy who's proven, undefeated, who's not getting spoken about nearly as much as Aaron Pico is, even after losing multiple times. I mean, what is it, like 2? I don't want to say multiple times like he lost like 10 times or anything like that. So I don't want it to sound like that. But he's lost. Like Ilya Taporia says, Charles Oliveira, he's lost before. I've never lost. We know ways that you can lose and ways to beat you. There's something to that, whether people want to admit it or not. So for me, I have to go with Laron Murphy. I mean, he beat Barbosa. He beat Josh Emmett. Different styles, different threats, and he's proven that he's one of the top guys in the division. You might not like him. You might think he's boring because he was trying not to get sent to the gulags from Josh Emmett. Who wants to take one of those haymakers from Josh Emmett? I'm getting on my bike too, bro. I don't care what you want to say. Unless you're going to go in there and go fight that man, show me how you will fight him. Sit there in the pocket, point to the ground like Max Holloway, bite down on your mouthpiece, and let's see how that works out for you. I would love to see him and Max in an exchange like that, by the way. That would be crazy. 10 seconds of madness. But with that said, I think for Laron Murphy's the cleanest striker, great footwork. Aaron Pico goes to the body very well. He has a nasty liver shot, and he also is a great wrestler. So it's going to be interesting to see what approach he decides to take with this fight. I feel like he's kind of gotten away from the wrestling just because he's fell in love with the knockouts, and that's usually the demise of good grapplers, good wrestlers. So I am curious to see what's his approach going to be in this one. But with that said, I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm going with Laron Murphy. And not because he's a new kid on the block for Aaron Pico. I just think this guy's proven already. Aaron Pico has shown ways that he can be beaten. If people want to say it was injuries or whatnot, stuff happens. The same thing with me. I took a fight on a quick turnaround. I lost, and people, they don't give a shit. All they care about, well, did you win? Did you win or did you lose? And that's just the way human nature works. The same thing if someone pops for steroids. Well, did you win that fight? Oh, you're a cheater, but you lost. We saw you lose. So that's all people care about. And that's the unfortunate nature of our sport. So with that said, we've seen him lose before. We haven't seen Laron Murphy lose. And I think he's in a really good spot coming into this.
No, I think, like you're saying, like Laron Murphy, I think is a smart bet. He's proven undefeated. Looks like he has the fight IQ. Looks like he has all the skills. Doesn't look like he has the hype machine behind him, but definitely has all the skills in the world. Could definitely be a legit title contender or a legit title challenger. But again, Pico's the one that's got all the hype around him. Again, for a guy like Laron Murphy, he gets to, I think, take away that hype a little bit if he puts on an impressive performance. I think the smart bet is to see Laron Murphy, kind of just pick him apart, maybe break him down towards the end of the second or third round. But no, I 100% agree with that. But Pico is, again, like you're saying, like highly touted. I think just the hype around him is already going to make things very interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's what people want to say. Does he belong or not?
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see if he does. It's gonna be a very it's gonna be a very good fight because I think he's gonna be coming in there looking to make a statement. For obvious reasons. You know, you're coming in, you're the new kid on the block. You want to look good in your debut. So it's gonna be a good fight. Shit. It's hard to call because again, like I said, Aaron Pico is really, really good. Great wrestler, great physique. Also trains with the Sam Calvita guys in the. We also didn't talk about that Khamzat's training. Well, we did say that.
Yeah,
Khamzat's
Khamzat's
training over
there,
there with
Aaron
him
Pico's
in
training them.
the Mad Scientist house. So
I think they had the Penn State guys over there. Not on any accusations, but you know, guy's a cheater.
I'm hoping not, man. That would just be.
That would be hard. It would suck. You want to believe that there's some fairness and non-scumbags in the sport, you know?
You want to believe it. But, yeah. Wait, so Steve, you're going with Laron?
I'm going with Laron Murphy, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think Laron Murphy's a smart bet, but it's like I might pick Aaron Pico just, again, based on hype.
I wonder what the odds are going to be for that one.
Laron's got to be the favorite. Vegas is pretty good with that. I think he's got to be. Come on.
Anyway, you can look that up quick, Jake. I'm like, yeah, because that's going to be an interesting one to see where people are putting their money, just in the sense of where they see the value.
Yeah, I would be shocked to see.
Aaron Pico is the minus 155 favorite. Pico is a plus 124 dog. So
it's a
it's
dog.
pretty.
Okay.
It's pretty even money. So no,
It's still close.
the underdog is Laron Murphy.
Oh, what? Laron Murphy's the underdog. Dude, everyone make some money this weekend. But I don't want to put that out there. But that's pretty crazy. I would not expect that.
But that's what I'm saying is like, Jake, how many times has he lost? Can you see his record?
4 fights.
And how were those losses? I know he had like a shoulder injury.
Yeah, he had one injury. I remember early in his career, he definitely got caught a couple times. But look, you never know too. Guys who have losses, I think, sometimes get to fight a little more free because they know what it is.
He's 12-4.
Yeah, no pressure. You know, like you were saying too. Like I know you had the undefeated record for a while too. Sometimes it's not even people are fighting. People are fighting to keep that record. You know, hold that intact so hard that they don't get to fight the way they freely.
I mean, I feel like whatever lack of pressure he has from losing, he's probably got a lot of pressure from being in the UFC now.
That's fair too.
Yeah, because people are gonna want to see if he's as good as he says he is.
There's definitely, I feel like there's so much pressure with the guys who have their first Bellator fight from Bellator into the UFC.
That's another guy we never talked about, Patchy Mix. He's another guy who came over.
That was another, yeah. That was another one I was thinking of. You're right.
Sometimes the fights go like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's jitters. I don't know if it's just maybe they weren't what they thought.
Yeah.
Or the competition is just a lot better. It's hard to say. There's so many different variables that go into the sport. So it's hard for me to ever pinpoint one thing and say this is why this has happened. But that's the game we play.
All right, that's our preview show.
All right, I guess you guys don't want to talk about the new UFC deal.
Oh,
with Paramount.
Congrats to the UFC. $7.7 billion. Congrats, UFC.
I'm pretty sure this deal puts the UFC in the top sports in America in terms of broadcasting.
Wow.
Bro, they just got $4.2 billion, 4 years ago? 5 years
from
ago?
ESPN. But this is somehow
They got
significant.
7.7
I don't even know how.
For 7 years, over $1 billion a year.
They got my address though, bro, so I know I'm gonna get my cut.
Oh yeah. You guys are, I'm sure, all gonna get a good split of that, Aljo. Yeah.
How crazy is that, bro? I mean, it just shows how big the sport is and how fast it's growing still.
Yeah. I mean, I will say during COVID, UFC they took off. They did. I mean, again, it was a ballsy move, but they stayed around and they were the only game in town for a while. That clearly, in the long run, was a huge benefit to them.
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah,
as a sports fan, come on, you needed something. Come on.
That will go down as one of the greatest moves in general manager history for a league.
You're still gonna have those people out there that are saying he risked lives.
Yeah, we risk lives every day.
What
are we supposed to
life? Do? There's not one life that was lost.
Also, fighting also isn't the healthiest option anyway. So, all right, fucking nut up.
If I'm gonna go out, I want to go out making some bread, brother.
Let's go, baby.
I gotta feed my family.
But I mean, Steve, what do you think about no more pay-per-views? It's just
Wait, so wait, before we do that, it's a 10-year deal, right?
7 years. I think.
seven.
7?
7 years, 7.7 billion, 1.1 billion dollars a year, Aljo. I'm sure. Don't worry, you'll get a good cut of that. I'm sure.
And
Don't
it's
even worry about it.
it's 30 fight
You'll get a nice
nights
Christmas bonus.
and 13 pay-per-views, I believe, and 4 of those per year will be on CBS. I believe. I might be off by 1 or 2 here, but
For free, right? That's what Dana said, at least initially.
so I think anything on Paramount.
It's just
So
on
that's
Paramount.
9. That's 9. What would be pay-per-views per year, but now you can just stream them with the Paramount subscription. And then like the 4 on CBS, I don't know if it's the same deal. I don't know if you get that with the Paramount subscription.
Yeah.
But the 30 fight nights, and the other 9 number cards will be on Paramount. And then the UFC also said they're gonna look to expand the Apex and have like 5,000 to 10,000 seats in there.
Wow.
For like, so that's like all that together. I feel like it's huge for the sport in terms of like watchability, you know? Because like watching the Apex cards won't be a fucking weird thing anymore. There'll be
So
a crowd
then
there.
what happens with like PFL who absorb Bellator
They're
and
still on
the other
ESPN
promotions
Plus.
that they put on their platform? Like, are they now gonna have to try and come over to CBS as well and Paramount, or are they gonna stick with ESPN? Because now I'm curious, because it was nice because you could watch also the UFC and you could watch PFL. What do you do now? I mean, I'm not paying for 2 subscriptions. I know that.
Yeah. Oh my
I got
God.
money,
All right.
but-
Come on. Are you kidding me? You're not gonna pay for 2
multimillionaire
subscriptions. Yeah. What is
Aljo
this guy even talking about? First of all,
Isn't paying another $10.
First of all, I'm
$10,
probably,
brother.
I mean,
A month.
That subscription is up. They upgraded, not upgraded. They upgraded the. Well, no. What's the word for this? They changed the payout, the monthly billing, and then they downgraded us where we weren't getting commercials, and now I got these ads that are unskippable for 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3
Disrespectful.
minutes.
Disrespectful.
That's rough. It's the longest 3 minutes of my life.
I don't know how the fuck did ESPN let this happen?
They did that, and then so you got the ads, and then the price went up. So now I got to pay extra if I want to get rid of the ads for my bundle. I think I was already paying $20 or $21 a month.
I mean, first of all, the ESPN app, respectfully, I thought was awful. The search function, terrible. Like looking up old fights, like the ESPN app, I remember paying for a pay-per-view, and the stream actually went out. The crack streams or whatever website they used was perfect. I'm like, that's actually disrespectful. I actually paid for this pay-per-view, and now you're forcing someone like me or somebody to stream it. You know, like
Crack
it's
streams?
just if it was somebody, yes, exactly.
What do you mean by that?
No, I look honestly like Jake, what you're saying too. Like, how did ESPN let this happen? Like, because $7.7 billion is insane. The fact that UFC is able to negotiate something like that is incredible. Again, like, first of all, they are mixed martial arts, like basically. So like PFL, like, you think like this, like what you're saying, like you think people are keeping their ESPN Plus subscription to watch the PFL? I might because I'm a loser. Like I got nothing else to do. But like most people, are you kidding me? If they care about MMA, they're gonna be like, oh, like I'm gonna keep ESPN Plus just so I can make sure I can watch the PFL live event. Nah,
shit
it's crazy.
is getting cut off the expense sheet.
So like
right after this podcast is done.
For Paramount too, like I don't know if this was a great business decision for them. Like, is Paramount going to be able to recoup $7.7 billion in streaming and ad revenue? I have no idea. But again, the UFC, congrats to them. They made out like bandits. They don't have to split 50-50 revenue with the fighters, bro. They won. Congrats.
You know what it is
money.
though. Even if they don't recoup 7.7 billion directly from UFC fans joining, there's this huge battle for live sports right now because that's the only thing people actually watch live anymore besides Aiden Ross and Kai Cenat. So
Jesus.
all these big streaming platforms like Amazon, Netflix, and like they're getting into live sports too. It's like you need some kind of like staple live sports because it's like that's just where that's what the competition is. That's how you get people to watch live stuff. So like also Paramount is like they just spent like $1 billion on South Park, like just have South Park.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like-
them and what was the other one? The other platform they spent like $1 billion on too. It was 2 of them that I saw that post about.
Something
whatever.
crazy. But like
My thing is the pay-per-view model was trash anyway, bro. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I was a champ. I was so hyped to make this pay-per-view money, thinking that blah blah blah. And I know people are gonna say, well, well, if you were more entertaining your style, then you maybe would make more money. Look at
Nah, but
Conor.
that's not the point.
Then they say, look at Conor. I'm like, yo, not everybody's trying to be freaking Conor McGregor. Some people, but not everybody wants to have to put on a show or turn it up a notch, a couple notches, to get people to be riled up to want to watch them and rowdy. Like, not everybody wants to do that. With that said, you wouldn't even get paid until after the first 200,000 purchases. So before your payout schedule kicks in, so for people who actually don't know the fuck they're talking about and they're going to say X, Y, and Z, you don't get paid until after 200,000 buys.
But-
and then that 200,001, you get paid $1.
Wait,
You
Alex,
know how
real
many
quick.
pay-per-views you have to sell for that to be like a worthwhile
Well,
kind of a
that's-
thing?
that's
Maybe
what I
if
would
they
ask,
did
like-
it from the very beginning, like the first buy, you get a cut. That would make sense. That would be like, okay, that would be cool for us to have that. And then the next pay rate goes up to like 400,000, and after that, you get paid like $1.50. Maybe some other guys have some different pay scales. Obviously, like the more, as people say, the entertaining guys, the Izzies, maybe the Masvidals, the Connors, Poirier, guys like that. It could be, they probably get a bigger pay chunk, right? And that's fair. I get that. But I'm just saying, like, the pay-per-view model sucked for the champions, so I'm hoping that while we get rid of that, the contracts change for the majority of the guys, where now you get more of that money up front and not having to hope or go do a bunch of antics. Like, I just like watching sports. Sometimes it's cool to have a character or two around there that's for entertainment purposes, but not everyone needs to be, well, you got to market yourself more. You got to do X, Y, and Z. I'm at the premier sports organization. This is the NBA of MMA. This is the NFL of football. This is the MLS. Why do we have to do that? It should just be understood you're within the program. I'm not saying everyone who comes in as a curtain jerker should get $1 million, but I do think once you start to establish your name and people recognize you and associate you with the UFC and they understand you've gotten past your first contract, maybe your second, you should, whatever, man.
Well, look, even past that, Aljo, look, if we're just basing it on merit, like in any other sport where you're a world champion, you should just be treated as such. I think that's just only fair. Like, I think if you are the world champion in any sport, like, again, you should be paid accommodatingly, in terms of that. But again, like what you're saying too, that was what I was gonna ask. Like, does this necessarily mean that the UFC is gonna, instead of pay-per-view buys because they don't have that anymore, just have like the contracts be a flat certain fee, whatever, stuff like that? Like, and the answer is we have no idea because there's
We
no
have no
union.
idea.
Yep, because the UFC could just say no, everything stays the same. There's just no pay-per-view points. Good luck, everybody, and no one can do dick about it. So that is the sport.
And the nice part for them too, they're gonna also be able to sell the hell out of those viewerships for sponsorship. So that's gonna be worth a pretty freaking penny. So now, like, you got the pay-per-views where people are streaming out the ass. So those numbers, they might be 250,000, but there's so many people out there watching. Like, yo, I'm not paying for that shit. But they'll go out there and they'll go stream it. It's like, well, you're an asshole because now I get nothing out of it. At least send me a freaking Venmo or something, or send
real
it
quick,
to the
this
guys
was my
on
argument for the
main card.
pay-per-views. Yeah, this was my argument for paying pay-per-views. Like, if you actually want to support the fighters, just pay for a pay-per-view. Like, if you want to pay, just pay with your dollar. Like, if you want to support this, pay. But then now it doesn't matter now. It's just all.
But
again,
to be fair, that $80 is outrageous.
It is
Even
outrageous.
60's still a little tough.
man,
Like,
you're a world champion. Just pay for it. It's all good. But that was the second thing.
well, for me, you're talking about me. That's fine.
Oh, yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
about the
yeah.
everyday worker who, they bust their ass all week, and then for the weekend they want to hang out with the boys, drink a few beers, maybe drink a little Funk Harbor, and then they want to watch the fights. Not everybody's going to have that type of leeway to drop money for alcohol, money for food, money to buy the pay-per-views at $60 or $80, and then do that every single month. It gets expensive. It adds up really, really quick, So that's my only thing where I understand the fans' perspective on that. So it's nice to get away from that. And now we get to see what the viewership really looks like when everyone dials in for the subscription, because it's not going to beat them over the head that much. I think it's probably going to be $20, maybe $25.
I think right now it's like $13 a month, dude. Like,
Well, that's even better, bro.
No,
So now
technically-
people are going to be
now-
more okay with spending that.
now Jake was saying earlier, like, this is a great thing for the sport and all that stuff, and like maybe, but like, now let me ask you, do you think the quality of the fights is gonna go up from this?
I don't think it's going to change. I don't think there's a direct correlation between that.
I feel
I
like the
really
UFC is always incentivized to put out the best product they can. I think there's going to be less fights per year, actually.
How? Based on what?
30 fight nights? I thought it was like 40 fight nights with ESPN.
You might be right on that. Actually, I have no idea.
There's a
I
few
mean,
holidays that they don't do anything where it's like a weekend off.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there's fights usually every weekend. 52
Even-
weeks in a year.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I could be
So
wrong.
like
but-
40 something events.
So
whatever.
if there's 13 pay-per-views and 30, that's 43.
Yeah, and then there's-
52.
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That sounds like a little bit less. Than,
I have
than
no
it was.
idea.
It might be, but then I also
Yeah.
know because of contenders, they're signing these guys left and right.
100%.
These guys got to get fights legally and contractually. So what do you do in that situation?
Well, they offer him a fight. Again, sorry to be this guy, but like they offer him a fight. The guy says no, and they're like, okay, we'll just hold you to your contract for another. Because in our contract, which you can't do shit about, like if we offer you a fight and you say no, we can hold you for another certain period of time. So like, again, is what it is. But again, it just, bro, it's a tough sport. Bro, it's a tough game.
Yeah. God bless the people who can, make something out of it. At the end of the
100%.
day, I remember doing this just because I loved it. I still do love it, but it's nice that I can actually make a living doing something like this that's so difficult, so many surgeries. I mean, neck surgery, wrist surgery, bicep surgery, hernia, shoulder surgery, like the double wrist surgery. Like it goes on, and not just me. You look at even Weidman, who's got, 26 or 27 different surgeries. I don't think all from MMA, but still, it takes a lot from you, like your physical health. And then when you get older, it's tough to see some of these older legends or OGs of the game who are like just broken, like physically broken, and have nothing to show for it. That saddens me, bro. And I always told myself, when I get in this sport, I'm gonna make the most out of it. Try not to get hurt too badly, but I'm gonna make sure I get more from this sport than this sport takes from me. And I like to think I did pretty well doing that, meeting so many great people, so many great fans around the world, a couple of dickheads here and there, but who just like to try to get under your skin. But overall, like, everyone's been great. Even at the PI, just meeting great people, getting to meet Steve through MMA, Jake through MMA. Like, I've met so many different people and friends that I still talk to till this day.
Wow,
Through this sport of MMA.
That was a
Hard.
beautiful way to end it, honestly. That was a
That's
beautiful way to
touching,
end it.
Aljo. I'm glad I met you too. It's been
Jake,
life
you're
changing.
all right. I know the people give you a lot of flack, but you're all right. You're all right in my book.
All right. Well, that's all that matters.
But
all right,
I think those are
man.
the three main big fights, right?
Yeah. There wasn't. It's not the most stacked
Or two.
card.
Yeah, two
We
most.
talked about 2 fights.
Dione's actually fighting on the card. She just took a short notice, 2 weeks. I forget who she's fighting, but she's got a tough fight coming up this weekend. But is there no other good fights on this card?
I'm
we
looking.
don't gotta
right
get
now.
into it.
There's
I
some,
just
there's some
think
interesting
who's on
names on there, but like I
Jeff-
wouldn't say anything.
Yeah,
Jeff
really
Neal,
not. I know.
Carlos
Oh, it's
Prates.
Carlos Prates.
Yeah, that's an interesting fight.
Oh shit.
Michael Venom Page, Cannonier. Yeah, the main,
Cannonier
the main
versus
card has
MVP.
interesting
You
fights.
want to do rapid fire predictions real quick for the rest of the main card?
All right,
Yeah,
real
let's do
quick,
that.
go.
All right. Steve's in a rush. All right. So, all right. DDP Khamzat. DDP Khamzat. Go. Aljo.
Khamzat.
Steve.
DDP.
Wow. Laron Murphy, Aaron Pico. Aljo, go.
Laron Murphy.
Steve.
Laron Murphy.
All right. Jeff Neal, Carlos Prates. Aljo.
Fuck. You put me in a pickle right now. These both the homies, dog. These both the homies.
Fucking say it.
He's calling a tie. Carlos Prates.
I'm saying Carlos Prates for Aljo.
I'm saying a tie.
There we go.
No.
Now you gotta let him go. You gotta let him go.
That's not allowed. No.
MVP versus Jared Cannonier.
I'm
Not
leaning towards
Steve.
Prates. I'm
All
leaning
right,
towards
Steve.
Prates.
All right.
Steve, who you got?
I'm going MVP.
No. Prates versus Jeff Neal.
Oh, Prates. What?
Okay. Cannonier versus Michael Page.
Steve, you go.
MVP.
Wow. Aljamain.
Yeah, I think MVP.
This actually is a pretty good card.
I'm
Tim
only
Elliott.
saying MVP because I feel like he's so much faster. Like, Cannonier is
Yeah.
really good, but I feel like the last few performances, he's kind of had a rough go in there.
Yeah.
And it's it's not really like he just has a little bit of bad luck with some of these fights, and that one bad stoppage with Imavov, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But he was on his way to losing that fight anyway, in my opinion. But yeah, it's tough.
Tim Elliott versus Kai Asakura.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Steve, that's your
Oh,
person,
word?
right?
That's an interesting one.
I feel like Tim Elliott might get him.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Tim Elliott's still a dog. Like I don't know how his recent run has been. Tim Elliott.
I think Kai.
Look, Kai's the younger. Yeah, he should be. I'm gonna go Tim Elliott.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
All right, Ken. Steve, get out of here.
All right, guys, I gotta go see my child.
What the
Steve,
Like,
You have a
comment,
child.
subscribe.
You're doing
Like,
the Lord's
comment.
work.
Thank you. You know, we all do what we can.
The
here, team.
population continues.
Thank you for being present in your child's life.
I wish my father was president. Oh.
Jesus Christ! Come on, guys. All right.
My kid and my dad was very present. All right. See you guys.
That's it.
Peace.